All right, let's do some more adding and subtracting of unlike fractions. So this next example here, I've got a 6 and a 12. And remember I said if one is a multiple of the other, here the 12 is a multiple of 6, that means your LCD is going to be the 12. You could also figure it out using either of the methods we've learned. Okay, so that means I want this 1 over 6 expressed as some number over 12. And the 7 over 12 is already 12, so that one's done. So 6 multiplied by 2 would give me 12. So that means on top, I'm also going to multiply by 2, which gives me 2 over 12. And so I can rewrite this 1 over 6 as 2 over 12. And then we're adding our 7 over 12, which is going to give me 9 over 12. We can divide both of those numbers by 3, so let's do that to simplify it. And that gives us 3 over 4. Okay, next one. Now we get into some subtraction. Same principles apply. So I'm looking for the LCD of 8 and 6. Let's do the tree method. So 8 is 4 times 2. 4 is 2 times 2. 6 is 2 times 3. Let's see what we have in common. We have 1, 2 in common, and that's it. Oh, I guess, okay, which I didn't even need to circle those because I'm doing the table. So I'm doing the prime factorization table. So 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 6 is 2 times 3. And so my LCD then is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Which is 8 times 3, which gives me 24. Okay, so I'm looking for both of these fractions then as some number over 24. Okay, so we've got 8 times 3 to get to 24. So I'm going to get 15 over 24. And then this other fraction I had to multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. Sorry, that's getting a bit messy, but we're multiplying that bottom one by 4. So we get 4 over 24. So that means we could rewrite this as 15 over 24 minus 4 over 24. 15 minus 4 gives me 11. So it's going to be 11 over 24. And there are no prime factors there. So I can't simplify any further. No factors at all, I should say. So I can't simplify anymore, and I'm done. All right, next one. We have denominators of 12 and 4. 12 is a multiple of 4 because 4 times 3 gives us 12. So we know that 12 is actually going to be our LCD. So let's express 1 over 4 as a fraction over 12. So we had to multiply by 3 there. So we're going to multiply by 3 on top as well to get 3 over 12. So here we have 11 over 12 minus 3 over 12, which is going to give us 8 over 12. Both of those are divisible by 4, so let's divide out of 4. And that gives me 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 would be our final answer. We can't simplify that any further. All right, next one. Hey, cool, I've got prime factors as my denominators. That makes my life easy because I know that to get the least common denominator of two prime numbers, it's just going to be the product of those two. So I'm going to be looking for denominators then of 3 times 5, which is 15. So let's express each of these fractions as some number over 15. So that first one I had to multiply by 5. And so I end up with 10 over 15. That second one I had to multiply by 3. And so I end up with 12 over 15. So this fraction summation is the same as 10 over 15 plus 12 over 15, which would give me 22 over 15. Okay, next one. I've got a 12 and an 18. Let's figure out what our least common denominator is then. I think I'll do the tree method this time. So 12 is 4 times 3, 4 is 2 times 2. 18 is 6 times 3, and that 6 can be reduced to 3 times 2. So if I do my prime factorization chart, I've got 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. 18 is, there's a 3 in common, there's a 2 in common, then we've got an extra 3 to go on the end. So our LCD is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, which is 36. Okay, so I'm going to write 5 over 12 as some number over 36, and 3 over 18 as some number over 36. So to get from 12 to 36, what did we multiply by? Well, if you're not sure, remember you can look on your multiplication chart. You can also do 36 divided by 12, and you'll find you get an answer of 3. So we had to multiply by 3 here. So 5 times 3 gives us 15. On the bottom, what did we have to multiply 18 by to get to 36? We had to multiply by 2. So we're also going to multiply by 2 on top, which is going to give us 6. So this, here, I'll just kind of divide this out. So this fraction then, 5 over 12, we said that is the same thing as 15 over 36. And then we're going to add 6 over 36, which gives us what? 21 over 36. Both of those are divisible by 3. I could figure out the greatest common factor, but I'm just going to try dividing by 3 and see if that is as simple as I can go. So that gives me 7 over 36 divided by 3 would give me 12. So 7 over 12, that would be my final answer for that one. Okay, a couple more. So we've got 7/8 minus 2 over 5. Let's figure out our LCD first. This time I'll use the division method. So we've got an 8 and a 5. We're looking for a prime factor here. There are no prime factors that would divide both of those, so I'm going to pick 2. Because 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. My 5 just comes along for the ride. I can once again divide out a 2 to get a 2 here. 5 comes along for the ride. For my LCD then, I'm going to draw myself the L. And it's going to be the product of those numbers. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, which is 40. So now I want to do my equivalent fractions. So I guess that was step 1 for those of you who like steps, find the LCD. Step 2, find our equivalent fractions. So we've got 7 over 8. We want that as some number over 40. And we have 2 over 5. We want that as some number over 40. So 8 times what gives us 40? That would be times 5. So that means on top here, we're also going to multiply by 5 to get 35 over 40. 5 times 40, or sorry, 5 times 8 gives me 40. So I need to multiply by 8 here. And so I'm going to get 16 over 40. So if I restate this question, then 7 over 8 was 35 over 40. And I'm subtracting 2 over 5, which was 16 over 40. Okay, so now I have a like fraction, which means we can do our subtraction. 35 minus 16, what does that give me? That gives me 19. So this would be 19 over 40. Okay, last one. We've got denominators of 8 and 3. So let's do the tree method. So we've got 8 is 4 times 2, 4 is 2 times 2, 3 is already prime. So if I do my chart, I'm going to find they have no factors in common. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 3 is already prime, it's just a 3. And so our LCD here is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 8 times 3, or 24. So that means here, my denominator I'm looking for is 24. So I've got 10 over 8. I want to express that as some number over 24. And then I've got 2 over 3, and I want to express that as some number over 24. So that top one, to get from 8 to 23, what did we multiply by? We would have multiplied by 3 there, which means we also have to multiply that top number by 3 to get 30. And on the bottom, to go from the 3 to the 24, we had to multiply by 8. So we're also going to multiply this top one by 8, which would give us 16. So this question, 10 over 8 becomes 30 over 24. It means the same thing and the same amount of stuff, minus 2/3, which is 16 over 24. So now I'm going to have 14 over 24. Both of those are divisible by 2. So let's divide by 2, which gives us 7 over 12.